Hello everyone, welcome back to the exciting conclusion of our real estate mobile app series. In our last video, we worked on creating the onboarding page and also the home page. Today, we'll be focusing on the property detail page. So, with that said, let's jump right in. So let's add on tab functionality to the property card so we can navigate to the detail page. And for that, let's wrap the container in an anchor widget, right, which comes with the on tab over here. So at the top over here, I'll be creating the on tab functionality, right? So for now, it's going to be a void function. Then the variable name is going to be on tab, right? So we need to pass that in the constructor as well. Then we can pass the on tab functionality to the anchor, right? So now I can have the on tab functionality within the property card. So over here, we can access the on tab. There we go. So it's basically a function. So when this property card is tapped, we are going to navigate to the detail page. And for that, we are going to use the navigator.push, right? So navigator.push, that takes in the context and also the route. The route is a material page route. It takes in the builder, and the builder is a function taking in the context. Then we need to provide the page we want to navigate to, which in our case is going to be the property page, which is not yet created, right? So let's proceed to create the property page. So within the screen folder, I'll be creating a new .dat file. And I'm going to name this file as the property page. So in our property page, we are going to create a stateless widget, which is going to be the property page. So make sure you have our material.dat import as well. And also within our home page, let's import the property page to get rid of the errors. So for now, let's return a scaffold in here. Let's move the widget directory outside the screen directory, right? And fix the error. So in here we need to import. And also at the top over here, let's get rid of this import and saving the changes. There we go. So now when you tap on the property card, you can see we've been navigated to the property detail page, right? So this is how we wanted it. So let's proceed to. So in here we need to pass the image down to the property page, right? So when the property card is tapped, you can navigate to that particular with the image as well. So you need to add that parameter to the property page. So we need to require this dot image, and down over here we create a variable to hold that image, right? And it's going to be of type string over here. So let's start to create the property detail page. So in our scaffold over here at the top, let's extract the theme from the context, right? So I'll create a variable of theme and assign it the theme of context. In the body of the scaffold, we are going to return the custom scroll view. So with this custom scroll views, it takes in the slivers that comes as an array. So over here I can pass in the sliver up bar. So within the sliver up bar over here, takes in the expanded height, right? So let's give the height of 400, and also flexible space, right? So with the flexible space, you can pass in the flexible space bar. Give it a background, and the background is going to be a stack widget, right? We're going to position things on top of it. So testing the fit, right? So the stack testing the fit, and we're going to set to be the stack fit.expand. And in our children, we are going to provide our image. So we're going to require the image from our assets. Then we pass in the image in here. Let's get rid of the const. So with the image, let's set the fit to be boss fit.cover. There we go, as you can see. And also let's have the position widget, and the child of this position widget is going to be a row. we are going to position this at the bottom and also the bottom left, right, with a value of 20 and 16 respectively. So the row over here takes in the children. So over here we pass in the container, give it some padding of edge inset dot symmetric, right? So with the horizontal value we provide a value of 8 and also give it a vertical value of 6 and saving the changes. Let's also pass in some decoration that takes in the box decoration. So in here we set a color to this container. The color is going to be a gray color with some opacity, right? So opacity of 0.5. And let's also set some border radius as well. So the border radius is also going to be a circular one with a value of 12. So let's give this chart. The chart of the container is going to be a row widget. So in this row we are going to have the star icon, and next to the star icon is going to be a text of the rating, right? So the icon is going to be icon.star. Then we pass in the size of 16 and also a color as well. The color is going to be colors.amber. There we go. So next to the star icon is going to be the text icon. That's the main reason we place this in a row format. So we are going to have a test of the rating. It's going to be 4.9. Then we give it some style, right? We access our theme, the test theme. Then it's going to be body small. So let's make it body large. And also let's change in the color here to be colors.white using the copyright method, as you can see at the top bottom left over there. So let's change to body medium. I think that looks okay. Let's provide some width spacing with a size box. So below the container, within the outer row, right, we are going to have a size box with some spacing, and below that we're also going to have a container as well. So I'll copy this container and repeat the same things, changing in the text and also getting rid of the icon, right? The padding and the decoration is going to stay same. So when you get rid of the icon and also changing the text over here to be apartment, you can see it over there. There we go. I think we can give it some more rounded. So I'm changing the circular radius to be 15. And also below the flexible space bar, we are going to have the leading, right? That's found within the sliver up bar. And for that, we are going to return the icon button that comes with on press and also the icon. So in here, the icon is going to be the arrow back iOS new icon, right? So the leading is going to place this widget at the very start of the sliver up bar. So let's give this icon button some styling, right? So we can use the elevated button dot style from. Then we provide some background color, which is going to be a white color. So it's going to be colors.white. We also need to place two of these icon buttons at the very end of the app bar, right? And guess what? It's going to be the actions, right? So let's add functionality to this back arrow icon by popping off the context. So we can also pass in an action that expects a list of widgets, right? So it comes as an array, and we're going to repeat these two icon buttons, changing in the icon. So with the first one is going to be icons.iOS share. So the functionality of the on top is going to be an empty for now, and also the second icon is going to be the favorite icon, favorite underscore outline. We also get rid of this press functionality to be empty for now, as you can see it over here. So in here, let's change the color of the favorite icon to be theme.primary color. So it's going to be theme.primary color. There we go, we are almost there. So let's proceed to run out some tests over here. So below over here, I'm going to return the sliver to bus adapter, right, with a child. The child in here is going to be a column that expects a children to be passing. So first of all, let's set the cross axis alignment to be at the start, and in this children we are going to have a row widget where we place a text and an icon, right? So at the top over here, let's set the cross axis alignment of the row to be cross axis alignment dot start, and also let's set the main axis alignment as well to be main axis alignment the space between. So in this children, we are going to have a text widget. So I'll be typing in the text over here. There we go. So I think we need to provide some padding. So let's start this test, right? So theme.text theme, then it's going to be headline medium. Then we can copy it and make some modifications in here. So over here, let's set a font weight to be font weight dot bold. There we go. And we need to provide some icon below the text as well, right? And the icon is going to be the bookmark icon. So let's change in the color of this bookmark. It's going to be a gray color. So let's wrap the column in a padding widget, right? And this padding is going to affect all size, a value of 16. There we go. That was cool. So below you are going to have the location icon and a text as well. So let's first of all make this gray color a lighter shade, right? So let's provide some height spacing with the size of the box, a height of 8. And below that, we are going to have another row where we place an icon and also a text, right? So the icon is going to be the location icon in here. So icon into bracket, icons.location. Then we need to give this location icon a color. So let's also give it a size as well, a size of 20, and also a color. And the color is going to be colors dot deep orange accent. And below this icon is going to be a text, right, displaying the location of the property. So we're going to have a text in here. So I'll grab this text and change in some things. So below the text, we're going to have a size box with a height spacing of 16. So it actually needs to be below the row. There we go. So then we are going to have a text of property description. So let's start this test. So theme.text theme dot label large. Then we can use the copy with method and make some modifications in here by changing in the font weight to be font weight dot bold. And also in here we can set the font size to be 18. So let's also provide some spacing below this text as well. So below over here, we're going to have another text, which I will paste in the text over here, the property description text. And let's start this property description text. So you can access our theme.text theme. Dot body large. There you go. I think this looks okay. So below that, we are going to have a text button, and the child of this text button is going to be a text that displays the text of show more. So let's start this test. So theme.text theme dot body medium. Then we can make some modification with the copy with method by changing the font. So in your font weight will be set to be font weight dot bold, and also changing the color of this text. I think that's okay. It's a black color. So let's wrap the text button, or let's wrap the text in a row, right? So next to this text is going to be the arrow icon, right? So below that we are going to have the icon. That's going to be arrow forward rounded. We give it a size of 24, and also changing the color over here to be a black color. And I think we also need some width spacing between the icon and the text, right? I think that looks similar. So over here, let's provide a sizer box with a width spacing of 12. There we go. Let's change to 8. There we go. And the last component to build is the button, right? So below the custom scroll view, we'll be passing the floating action button, right? And it's going to be a sizer box with a width of 340 and also a height of 70, right? So the child of this sizer box is going to be the floating action button dot extended with a label, right? So the label in here is going to be a row where we can align our widgets in here. So the row takes in the children, and the first thing you're going to see is a text. So let's provide some width spacing over here to be 5, and below that we are going to have a text displaying the amount of the property. So I'll pass in the text over here. So let's set the location of the floating action button to be at the center. Alright, so it's going to be floating action button location dot center float, right? And I'll place it at the very center, floating as well. And we need to make some modification over here, right? So over here, let's change the background color of this button, right? The background color is going to be colors.black with some alpha value, alpha of 200. There we go. So below that, you can also set a foreground color to be a white color as well. There we go. And we need to change the shape to be a stadium border so we can have it fully rounded. So that's how we want it. So let's proceed to start the test. So with the styling, we can access our theme.test theme. Over here, it's going to be body large. Then we make some modification with the copy width method and changing the font weight to be font weight.bold. Let's fix the error. So once we copy it, let's change the color, right? It affects the color. So let's give it a color of white. So next to the test, right, we are still within the row. Let's provide some spacing, a width spacing of 12. And next to that, we are going to have a container, right? So this container is going to have a width of 130 and also a height of 50 and some decoration, right? So with the box decoration, you can pass in the border radius over here to be border radius dot circular. You pass in the radius. And the radius in here is going to be 30. And below that, we also can also set the color to be a gray color. So color is dot gray with some opacity. So in here, the opacity is going to be set to 0.4. And the child of this container is going to be an icon and also a text, right? So the icon is going to be the calendar icon, which is going to be icons.calendar. Calendar month. And provide some width spacing as well, a value of 10. There we go. So next to the icon is going to be the date in a text format. So provide it June of 23rd to 27th. So we need to give some padding within this container, right? So I'll be passing a padding, and that's going to be edge insets. Dot all is going to affect all size. A value of 8. There we go. So let's provide some spacing below here. We are still working within the row, right? We have one more widget to render. So it's going to be the circular avatar. Give it some radius to be 25. A background color to be theme.primary color. And also we need to give this circular avatar a child, and the child is going to be the arrow icon. It's going to be an icon. The icon name is going to be icons.arrow. Arrow forward icon, yeah. And we need to change in the color to be a white color. And that's it, right? So let's have a look at the design done so far, right? That looks similar. So this is the end of the tutorial. As you can see, we have the onboarding page. Then we move on to the home page where we can have a detail of a particular property. So see you in our next tutorial. Until then, stay tuned.